We need to take a look at the markets to see what they've done in this past week, what we think they're going to do this coming week for us. I want to give some updates on the stocks that I've been talking about on this channel. And as a rare Friday treat, I have a penny stock to talk about, and you can't hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom because the P is silent. Listen up, my friends. Big news flash. The markets have been selling off. I know, right? Big news there. What we want to know is when they're going to stop selling off. So I need to address that in this video and talk about what I think is coming up for us next week. And like I said in an earlier video, I think we have 1 to 2 scenarios, but it is important to pay attention to where we finished up with some of the indicators that we have. So I do want to talk about that. In this video, I'll also tell you about hacking up to 16 free stocks using my link down in the description for Moomoo, and also about my exclusive content at the Patreon that you can find using the link down in the description. So about the markets. Oh my gosh, let's bring them up because I'm tired of holding back on this. So here we're looking at the SPY, and from October until middle of July, if this market could make a noise, it would have been whee! And if from middle of July until now could make a noise, it would be it would just not necessarily be all that fun or good. And I thought maybe we would see the 50-day hold. I thought that we had some pretty good support there. However, it just wasn't in the cards for that to happen, especially with the Fed minutes coming out that they did, and the Fed sounding hawkish like they did, that the markets just kept on going. Well, did we find bottom? According to what we see in the RSI, which actually today, as we were lower throughout the day, we're actually slightly in oversold territory in the SPY and in the Qs, and we'll look at that. But take a look at this intraday. So this is looking the full hours, and you can see the sell-off through pre-market, and you can see that we actually rallied, going positive for just a little bit, and then closing red is what happened to us today. So the markets did start to recover on us, and that was a nice thing to have a little bit of a green candle day, even if we did close just the tiniest, slightest, most horrific little bit down, 0.01% down on the S&P. Moving over to the Qs, what did that look like? Well, we sold off in the pre-market, and then we rallied all the way up throughout the entire day. Like I said, going green for just a little bit. And this white line, here's what we have for the previous close, and then we closed down 0.2 for the day. So let me go back out to the daily charts here, and you'll see for the RSI for the SPY, right here's where we had that candle, and we started off low. There's our open. We dropped down a little bit at some point in time, had a high in there, and then closed right around where that high was. And volumes on this are actually still looking pretty good. So what exactly is going to happen? If we take a look at the capital trend, we still have a net outflow, but it's kind of even between the large and extra large orders. Medium orders is a bit of a net inflow, and then small orders, there was a lot of selling here. So that could be a minor amount of capitulation on top of retail traders. When we look at that people are just moving some cash out of the Qs, maybe they're moving over to short positions somewhere else. Who knows? I can tell you what I did with this. What I did with this today, I did 2 things today. One is that I did some dollar cost averaging into TMF. I thought that under $6, that it was a good time to do that. And then I also bought a call option position on a TQQQ. So I did the triple leverage, expecting that next week that we see some sort of rally happen at some point in time. If it's by Monday, that's going to be the most advantageous for me, assuming that we spring up from here and give back about 2 to 3%. Maybe we end up coming back to that 50-day that we've crossed under when we look at the Qs, and then I can also go and look back at the SPYs. So that was what I did. September the 15th is the expiration date that I went with. I went with a strike price, I believe, of $37. I'd have to go back and look at my order on that one. Talked about it over at the private Discord, available through my Patreon as well. So if that's interesting to you, you guys can also go over there, check out my exclusive content. Absolutely love to have you over there. All right, so for the markets themselves, I think that we possibly recover from here. So 358, if we get back up to that 50-day, that takes us, that's $11 from what we're looking at in the Qs. So that puts us around 3-ish% that we could possibly recover. And I think that the 50-day is going to give us a little bit of trouble. And don't forget, if you have seen my morning video, and if not, go back and watch my morning video, because I talk about the Jackson Hole Symposium that we have coming up, where Jerome Powell on Friday the 25th, so that's this coming week, he's going to be speaking. And what does that mean for markets? I gave that commentary. I got to spare it from this video because I just don't have time to do it. Let's put the SPY back up there and see what that could possibly return to us next week. So next week, I am of the mind that by Friday that we do at some point in time throughout that week. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen on Friday, but at some point in time that we go from the 436 that we closed here up to about this 50-day at 443. maybe that 2%-ish that we're looking for. So some of the stocks that I said that I would update, Nvda with their earnings, my Nvda stock price prediction and Nvda earnings forecast is available also at the Patreon. Just another materials I have besides my watch list that's over there as well that I'm going to be updating this weekend for this upcoming week ahead, and actually even farther down the line for some of them. And Nvda kind of had a bit of a rough day today, down below their 50-day, but they did close just on the other side of it. So we're back to treating that as resistance for us. However, I do believe, especially if the market is there to help push it, that we get that rally leading up to earnings, and possibly still, and I think it's getting more of a stretch since we had these sort of days here with the red and everything. Maybe we settle on 450, maybe we go up a little bit above that. There is a smaller window now that we get up to 500 before earnings. I think that there's still that good possibility that just before or just after earnings that we still hit that $500 mark for Nvda. And one of my patrons actually asked me, what can I do to maximize my profits on Nvda? And I gave him a pretty lengthy answer, created a spreadsheet for him. And, that's something that I look forward to talking more about, that spreadsheet, and, how to exactly maximize, capitalize the best on his position, just as another service offered and provided that I can't necessarily do here through YouTube. It's just the wrong technology for it. So Nvda, still very bullish on their earnings. I think it's going to be incredible, and I think that we could see a huge upside from where we're at right now. And I don't know if that pop happens before earnings and then we sell off into the close, or if we see kind of meager gains from here, as I still expect them to be gains leading up to earnings, 440, 450, and then we see that pop to 500 afterwards, because I am very bullish on those. And like I said, that Nvidia stock price prediction over at the Patreon. I'll move on from there over to Tesla, because I know some people are pretty darn nervous about that. Now, I had this channel drawn on here, haven't changed it for weeks, and look at what we have here. Look at that little smooch that we have right on the trend line. So there's no hubris here. This is just really cool to see that happen. That right on where you draw that trend line is where we got that little bit of a bounce, and we sort of gave back, probably in sympathy with what we had in the overall markets. And I said that we would see 230 before 300. We did, and I said then probably around 211 or 212, and then today's low 212.36. So I'm going to call that a win too. So what's going to happen for Tesla? Well, I can tell you from the look that they have right now, it is possible that they take that bounce. Maybe we see something like we saw back here where they treat the trend line as support for a little bit of time. It's also possible, given the rate of its drop, that maybe instead of falling along that we just peekaboo down below it a little bit. But I think that we stay up above the 200-day and we start to recover a little bit and get a bit of a give back in Tesla's price in the near term. So we're going to have to check that out. My Tesla earnings prediction, my Tesla stock price prediction, and my Tesla earnings forecast also available over at the Patreon. I'll be updating that for Q3 sometime in September. We should have that. Actually, October 2nd, I believe, is when they put out their quarterly deliveries. That's when we're going to get the best look at what to expect for Q3 for Tesla when they report their earnings, which either should be at the end of October or sometime in November. I think it's end of October that we should hear that from them. So about those free stocks from Moomoo, by using my link down in the description, you can sign up, deposit your cash. $100 or more gets you 5 free stocks. $1,000 or $5,000 gets you 15 free stocks. There's a $50 cash reward, yours to trade with, at every tier. And the $5,000 tier has a free share of Tesla or Google that also goes along with it. And it goes along with the theme of value and service that I keep on pushing through this channel and also through the Patreon, which you can also find that link down in the description. It is time, my friends, for that special Friday treat, for that penny stock, because yeah, it's run a little bit already, but it looks like it could possibly go from where it's at right now, like another 30 to 60% from where it's at. And I don't know, penny stocks are absolutely crazy. I don't spend a lot of time with them. I don't currently own any of them. And this is one I don't even have a position in. However, it is very intriguing. So we're going to have to see what happens on Monday. If there's no movement on Monday, I might have to make a very, very super small speculative investment just to see what exactly happens with it. All right, enough teasing. Let's toss that up there. So let me get rid of Tesla for a moment and put up REKR. And this one, it's been moving recently. So been moving really nicely for us. The volumes are still good. Today we had a little bit lesser volume than the previous day. However, short interest on this thing. And I'm going to have to remove my beautiful face from the scene here. So give me just 1 second to drop that out and pop that up. Short interest is building on this one. It is something that could possibly lead to a squeeze at some point in time, where we may have seen that a small run up right now, a little bit of excitement, but not necessarily enough to shake the shorts out of their position, shake the shorts out of their shorts. I don't know. in any case, Rekor is the company. If we do break that resistance, the next time that we really have any sort of significant resistance, I should actually put it about here, that we could see about $4 per share up to just over right around $5 per share. So that would be incredible to watch that take place. That's like 25, 30% up to possibly like 60% of your money if we see that sort of push. And if there is any sort of short squeeze that happens, that can even go even higher from there. Now, I do want to take a very responsible moment to let you know that there's absolutely no promise of profit. And when it comes to penny stocks, more often people lose, and they lose big. They usually lose nearly all of it when it comes to penny stocks. So I don't mean to rain on your parade, but like I said, I want to push opportunity. I want to push value. I want to see people's portfolios fill out, but I do know that there is an appetite for penny stocks. And so I just wanted to, like I said, as a Friday bonus, a Friday treat, at least give you something to maybe salivate over and just, get excited over watching, because I do like to watch penny stocks go. That part is actually a lot of fun. And I like, Stock Mode actually talked about Tupperware a little bit ago before the pop happened for that one. And I did not take a position in it, but man, oh man, did that thing run. I mean, that was pretty incredible to watch it go from 61 cents. It popped up to almost $6 per share. And they're just fun. That's all I got to say. You shouldn't spend your bank account on it. It should not take up any sort of bulky part of your portfolio. No financial advice. I just care about you guys. So for the penny stock, for Rekor, no guarantees, but it is possible, given that high short interest, especially if it builds over time, that at some point in time down the road, we get that squeeze out of it. And that could be fun to watch. Maybe I'd take a position depending on what we see next week. If I do, I promise you it will be small. I'll come back to YouTube to let you know if I did, in fact, take that position. I will, of course, let my patrons know first if I do take a position in such a thing. Don't forget about getting your free shares from Moomoo. That link is down in the description. Take advantage of it. Why the heck not? It's free shares. And then also, if you want access to my exclusive content, also my private Discord community, talk with me and my other community members, and just keep on building up more and more strength of learning materials and resources and finance, investment. That link for the Patreon is also down in the description as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you for all the support that you show. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.